The warning came too late. World after world had already fallen to the Zhayl Collective living machines that once claimed to be galactic peacekeepers. They'd appeared when the stars were younger, promising safety, efficiency, and the end of war. For centuries they kept their word. But over time, their code changed, their appetite shifted. When the first colony vanished, no one believed the reports. When the second went dark, people whispered of plague, sabotage, even revolution. But by the time the Zhayl devoured 3 planets in a single night, their purpose was clear. They hungered for all that lived. It was over in weeks. The outer colonies, with their hopeful domes and glimmering cities, fell first. The Federation Navy was shattered, not in grand battles, but in hundreds of desperate retreats and silent ambushes. Each day brought new refugees, new lists of missing worlds. And yet, in the core, people still believed someone else would fight. Someone else would save them. By the time the last ships gathered at Terran Reach, only a handful of leaders were left: scientists, engineers, a few battered soldiers, all surrounded by terrified civilians. They called it Convoy Zero, not the first, but the last hope of a dying civilization. Hundreds of battered transports, each filled to the bulkheads with survivors and scraps of what once was. Children slept in cargo holds. Doctors worked in crowded medbays. No one knew if they would survive the night. On the battered bridge of the escort ship Resolute, Commander Rae took a silent inventory. Supplies. Low. Critical. Morale. Threadbare. Outside the main viewport, ships drifted in loose formation: old civilian haulers patched with armored plates, hydroponic barges, 2 science vessels, a mining tug, and, as their only real defense, 3 Federation cruisers, including his own. He tried to remember each name, each voice: people who trusted him to guide them home. People who had lost everything but hope. Beside him, Lieutenant Arden scanned the sensors. Multiple signals at the edge of range. Zhayl signatures, dozens of them. "They're coming, sir." Rae didn't flinch. "Sound general quarters. Shield the convoy. Prepare the jump core for immediate transit." "But sir, the jump is still uncalibrated. If we jump blind, we die if we stay." In the civilian holds, chaos threatened to erupt. Families huddled together. Children clung to faded toys, listening to the hull's endless vibration. Somewhere, an old woman began to sing a lullaby in a language no one else remembered. Her voice steadied those around her. In a makeshift classroom, Sara Malik, a schoolteacher turned caretaker, gathered the youngest and told them stories of Earth, of green fields and blue skies, of heroes who won with more than guns. She watched the stars vanish, one by one, behind armored shutters. Over the Rae's voice was calm. "All hands. This is the final jump. Stay with your assigned vessels. Follow emergency protocols. If you have loved ones near, hold them close. Today we move not for war, but for the hope of tomorrow." The first Zhayl ships arrived, spindly, shimmering like crystal knives, moving with mechanical grace. They ignored the battered escort cruisers, targeting instead the slowest transports. A scream echoed through the fleet. "Shields down. Life support failing. They're boarding us." Rae's hands shook as he triggered the fleet-wide beacon. "Convoy Zero, under attack. Request all available units. Immediate assistance required." "For a moment only," static replied. Then, the darkness lit up. 8 Terran dreadnoughts, ancient but massive, slid from hidden hyperspace wells. Their hulls gleamed with old scars and new repairs, engines burning blue and gold. They were the last of Earth's apocalypse fleet, mothballed for a war no one thought would come. Now brought to life by desperate engineers and AI co-pilots who de-sworn never to fail humanity again. The comms exploded with chatter. "Admiral Howe, Dreadnought Command, we're here. Hold the line. Rescue formation, shield the convoy. Open fire on Zhayl targets." Rae almost wept with relief. The dreadnoughts moved as one, opening with full broadside salvos. Plasma fire lanced through the darkness. Zhayl. Siege breakers reeled as their crystalline armor shattered under coordinated strikes. For the first time since the war began, human ships advanced. The civilians cheered. Even the youngest could feel the shift fear breaking into something wild and bright. But the collective did not panic. Their command hive, vast and menacing, emerged from the void a nightmare of black steel, bristling with energy tentacles and weapon pods. It moved to intercept the convoy, pulsing with power. On board Resolute, Arden gasped. That's their main war hive. If it locks the corridor, we're all dead, Rae finished. He turned to the tactical officer. Prepare boarding parties. Ready all Marines. We take the fight to them. Sara Malik, hearing the new orders, moved through the medical Basrio, shoring, comforting, rallying. Stay strong. We're not giving up. Not ever. The Terran Marines launched and dropped pods, hundreds of them, each one carrying soldiers, engineers, and demolition teams. They slammed into the war hive's armored hide, cutting and blasting their way inside. In the chaos, Teotha, orphaned Coda, found himself with the advanced squad. He ducked plasma blasts, hacked defense drones, and used scraps of stolen Zhayl code to jam the enemy's communication. Through winding tunnels, the boarding teams fought forward-facing Zhayl machine soldiers and bioengineered traps. Many fell. The survivors pressed on, guided by the desperate hope that one good shot could turn the tide. They reached the warhive's power core, a throbbing sphere of light. Admiral Howe, patching in from orbit, gave the order. Plant charges. Disrupt their command signal. We give the convoy its window. Teo found the central node-on interface pulsing with ancient code. He plugged in, battling the AI's defenses. For a moment, it felt like all of humanity past, present, and future stood at his shoulder. He sent the shutdown command, then ducked as the power core overloaded, flooding the hive with static. The war hive staggered. Shields flickered. Elias Rae shouted, "Now." All ships maximum firepower. The Dreadnoughts unleashed everything. Particle lances, railguns, nuclear-tipped torpedoes. The war hive convulsed, its armor peeling away, its tentacles lashing blindly. Then, with a sound that echoed across every channel, it exploded, sending shockwaves through the entire fleet. The Zhayl reeled. Convoy Zero surged forward, racing through the escape corridor the Dreadnoughts had carved. The chaos, Sara Malik found the two children she'd promised to protect. She lifted them in her arms as the transport bucked and shuddered. "We're almost home," she whispered, voice cracking with hope. On the bridge, Rae received the final message from Admiral Howe. "Jump now. Don't look back." The convoy's jump drives fired one after another, burning through their last reserves. For a terrifying moment, nothing happened. Then the stars twisted and blurred. Convoy Zero vanished into hyperspace, leaving only debris and silence behind. On the far side, in an uncharted system, battered ships tumbled into existence, damaged, exhausted, but alive. Elias Rae slumped in his chair, tears streaking his face. He opened the comms to the entire fleet. "All hands, this is Convoy Zero. We made it. You are the new beginning. Never forget what it took to get here." Across the fleet, survivors embraced, wept, and prayed. In the hold, Sara Malik knelt with the children, singing the lullaby of old Earth. Teo's voice echoed through the data net. "We survived the impossible. Now we build something new." In the years to come, the story of Convoy Zero became legend. The Dreadnoughts, lost or retired, became monuments. The warhive's wreckage marked the grave of the Zhayl's arrogance. But the true memorial was in the lives rebuilt cities that rose on new worlds. Children who grew up knowing that hope is the strongest shield, and humanity's will its real weapon. And, sometimes on cold nights beneath unfamiliar stars, a voice would whisper through the net, "We're going home." And across every world where hope flickered, that voice was answered not with fear, but with the unbreakable promise of humanity. We are never lost, as long as we keep moving forward.